All right, we move on now to the Independence Bowl. UAB, BYU. BYU 7-point favorites here, 54.5 the total in this game. Fascinating matchup here between these two. You look at BYU. What do they want to do on offense? They want to run the football right down your throat. Not that they can't throw it with, not that they can't throw it with Jaron, but definitely a guy that it's an offense that definitely you want to be able to run the ball and preferred over the passing game. And Jaron Hall is a good passing quarterback for BYU, but definitely the run game is the key to their success. It's a BYU offense averaging 187 rushing yards per game, 5.1 yards per carry. But UAB's strength is their run defense. So I'm interested to see Jaron Hall. If he has the run taken away from him, he might have to do a little bit in terms of throwing the football. If the likes of Tyler Algier are neutralized by this UAB defense, you're going to have to look down the field more and find some of your receivers. And I find the receiving core for BYU's all right, but it's not where it was last year, in Zach Wilson's final year as BYU quarterback. I thought they had a better receiving core last year than they do this year. So I think there's some things you like here about UAB from a matchup standpoint. I certainly like the point spread range. Being able to take points with UAB as an underdog in the Bill Clark era has never been a bad idea. He's been a guy that with extra time to prepare, you usually like him in these kind of situations as well, in terms of bowl games as well. And look, I'll give UAB a lot of credit for one thing. Their offense, even with a backup quarterback, remember they used number 2 at quarterback most of the year, Hopkins, because their number 1 quarterback, Johnston, was injured all season. He got injured early in the year for UAB and really never came back. But Dylan Hopkins, really showed me a lot at quarterback for this UAB team. He got better as the season progressed. They have a nice balanced offensive attack here. And you've got to wonder if the Independence Bowl in Shreveport, Louisiana for BYU is an exciting destination for them. I'm not so sure. We are talking, you see it on the screen. It's the 13th ranked team in the country right now.
Yeah,
and they're getting the Independence Bowl in Shreveport, Louisiana. That's like getting coal in your Christmas stocking on Christmas morning. That's what this seems like to me for BYU being given this bowl game. So my initial lean's UAB. I don't think it's the worst matchup in the world. They're good underdogs. And I don't know if BYU is all that enthused about this as a bowl setting for them. What do you think here, Conor?
Yeah, I talk about it a lot. There's certain teams. When I see UAB laying numbers, I never take them. I remember that Rice game when there were 3 touchdown favorites. They lost. But when they're catching over a touchdown here, I look at it pretty heavy. You talked about how good they are in the dog roll. BYU's better, but are they going to be up for this game like you talked about? They're just flat out better. They had the 2 losses there to Boise and to Baylor. But other than that, they took care of business. There's Washington State, Virginia, SC. They beat Utah early, but that was a different Utah team, Arizona State. So I think BYU's a bit better here, but a touchdown, I'm not so sure. I think this game's close. My initial lean, I'm with you here. Give it the 7 if you can get the 7 in the hook. I take it with UAB. I think this is a close game, but BYU to me is just better all around the line. I think and this could be back and forth. One thing BYU's defense was would get leaky at times. There's some teams that stuck around backdoor covered, SC, that game was 35-31. Some of these teams have hung around and games have been a touchdown or less. So that's why I kind of like UAB here as well.
Yeah, they are contractually obligated to be in this bowl game, BYU. Yes, indeed. That is true. I still don't know if they're all that enthused. We'll see. But and UAB catching points, definitely a side I'm very much interested in for this game. You are worried about in the trenches. BYU has a chance to just completely grind you into the turf, on both sides of the ball with their offensive line and their defensive line. That's definitely concerning potentially here. But UAB to me still will be maybe the more enthused team to be in this bowl game. And the matchup I don't think is that bad for them.